Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim Gordon, social worker, author, ACT trainer, and today I'm going to show you the curious paradox of acceptance. What I mean by paradox, it seems almost like this shouldn't be a thing. It contradicts itself. That when we turn towards pain, it makes it easier for us to work with pain. You know when you feel like your emotions are just too much? They're overwhelming, they can grab you, spiral you into difficult thoughts, maybe activate some trauma triggers, get you to opt out, act out, engage in behaviors that you typically wouldn't want to do, or that maybe you don't want to be doing, but you know work in the short term because they bring you some relief. And you feel like if you let those feelings in, they'll take over. So you do something natural, you control, you push them away. So this video's goal, what I want to show you today, is how to make space for discomfort so that you can receive difficult emotions, not turn away from it when it's sustainable, when it works for you. But notice that in order to know whether or not this is the right intervention for you, there's some foundational work that needs to be done. We need to pay attention to our experience because we can get really rigid with our values, and that's not sustainable. But we can also get really rigid with avoidance, and that may not be sustainable. Only person who knows what's workable for you is you. So let's dive into how our minds naturally resist pain. Humans, the species that we are oriented to pay attention to pain. You hear a shake in the shrubs behind you. That could be somebody dangerous. That could be an animal about to attack. You hear a loud crashing sound above you. Your repertoire narrows. You're not paying attention to the temperature of the air, to the rumble in your belly. You're not fantasizing about what you're gonna have for lunch. Those things are gone, and you're focused on what might go wrong. Fight, flight, freeze, maybe fawn, depending on the context. Our nervous system is designed to keep us safe, to keep us alive. Now, for most of us, when something difficult shows up, myself included, we wanna run away. We want to avoid, we want to push it away. Totally normal reaction. And it's probably kept you safe. It's probably helped you, saved you, probably more than once. Don't think of this reaction as your worst enemy, but also don't think of it as your best friend, because it can get us stuck. A famous ACT metaphor, quicksand, is used regularly to describe our relationship to avoidance. If you find yourself in quicksand, you're not supposed to try and just pull your body out. You're supposed to embrace the quicksand, laying back in it. As my friend DJ Moran says, take the Nestea plunge. I oftentimes starfish when I'm swimming and just enjoy the sky. If we can do that in a pool of water, if we can do that in the ocean, we can do that in quicksand. We can float and we can slowly work our way out. Less struggle equals a better outcome. And isn't that a funny way of thinking about it? Less fighting, less resistance, less pushing away can actually help us to soften. And even though we have to endure the scariness of being in quicksand and not knowing exactly how to get out, and you may have that pang of anxiety, get me out of here right away. It gives us space to work. And that's what we're doing with acceptance. So let's do a little expanding awareness meditation together. This will be a brief one. I'd like to invite you to find yourself in a comfortable posture. Go ahead and take a breath on purpose. I'll breathe with you. Maybe allow your vision to drop, go out of focus. As you settle into your body, I'm going to ring the bells 3 times. As I ring the bells, I'd like to invite you to just attend to the inflow and outflow of your breath. As we settle into this exercise, I'd like to invite you to call to mind an emotion that you struggle with. And see if you can identify what the emotion is. Is it loud and bring up immediate visceral reactions for you? Maybe it peaks quickly and then starts to lose its energy, like stress or a pop of anxiety. Maybe it's a constant, low, dull ache like grief. Maybe it's a different constant in your life, like an emotion that you would associate with your pain. It's constantly there, constantly influencing how you perceive your day, yourself, what you're capable of doing. Whatever difficult emotion you're noticing, I'd like to invite you to breathe it in. Take a breath, make space for it, and notice it. If you can locate it, perhaps somewhere in your body, some people may point to their heads, to their chest, or their belly. If that's not how you experience emotion, I'd like to just simply invite you to locate it in any way that feels right for you. How do you describe these emotional states that come to visit us? And if you have to come back to it, or you're noticing yourself getting a little fused with that emotion, it's pulling you out of this exercise, take a breath. See if you can let it be here without trying to change it, influence it, shoving it out. And now, as you welcome this emotion and allow it to be here, as you identify it, imagine space around it. Maybe you can breathe in a little deeper and allow your breath to expand around this emotion. And what else might fill that space? Maybe it becomes possible to go from having the emotion right in front of your face and staring at it, and that being the thing that takes up your worldview, and breathing it in and allowing for some space allows you to look beyond the emotion. Whatever becomes possible here, even if it's not profound and sophisticated and interesting, giving yourself the opportunity to make space. In these last few moments of this exercise, I'd like to invite you to ask yourself, what can I do with this little bit of space that I've created now? How might I respond differently? Or what do I want to do with my life now that I've let this emotion in and it's me that's choosing? Not my nervous system's reaction to pain, not my desire to run away, not my fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, but the me that's here behind my eyes, receiving, choosing. I'll ring the bells 3 times. That's your opportunity to take a breath. Let this activity pass. I'd like to invite you to open your eyes fully at the end of the 3rd ring as we return to this space that we share. I'd like to orient your attention to what your reaction is. Or, to say it more simply, what did you notice? It's my favorite way to debrief exercises. Simply what you noticed. And please, I sincerely mean this, there's no wrong answer. Some people immediately experience discomfort during this exercise. Some people experience relief. You may have tears, resistance, Maybe even feelings of frustration that you didn't have relief. Maybe you have feelings of fear, like, wait a second, that emotion right here, but breathing it in allowed me to make space so I could look past it. That was cool because the emotion was still here, but I could do something new in the presence of it. Whatever you're noticing, I'd like to invite you to pause, pay attention. This is your process. And just like I said at the beginning of the video, and I meant it, there's no right answer here. Being a radical behaviorist, really buying into ACT's underlying philosophy that context, how our behavior works in the situation matters, means how you interact with this exercise is a process. We learn to acknowledge pain, we learn to receive it, and in acknowledging it, seeing it more clearly. But I don't know that it's right for you to accept something painful. There's a lot of painful stuff in my life that I don't accept. And in fact, it might be a bit dysfunctional for me to simply accept it. I've had to get really good at pushing some painful stuff away so that I have more bandwidth to live my life and connect with my values. There's been other situations where pushing pain away is not sustainable, and it doesn't work for me. There's no wrong way to feel. It's about noticing how we interact with what we feel. When somebody experiences pain and doesn't want to have it and turns to substances, and the substances bring that relief, and we see that instant jolt of anxiety come down, it may create a problematic relationship, not just to that jolt of anxiety and wanting to push it away, but it can also create a problematic relationship to substances. Our job is to pay attention to how your behavior works in the situation that you're in. Discomfort's a visitor. It's not always a threat. You are spacious enough to hold anything you feel. Please, what did you notice during this practice? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. If you found this exercise helpful, don't forget to throw us a like, subscribe. There will be more videos linked below, but don't forget to share. You never know who may benefit from this work in your life. Thanks so much for following along.